Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're reviewing The Mitchells vs. the Machines on Netflix. So diving straight into The Mitchells vs. the Machines. It's a family-friendly Sony animated picture that follows a fairly dysfunctional American family who are trying to survive through a technological apocalypse, if you will. And I'm not going to say much further than that in regards to the plot, because I went in blind and was really surprised by this movie. I didn't really recognise any of the cast members, I must admit. Even after Googling them, I was still a little bit like, I don't know who you are. But I liked all of them. I thought they all did relatively good jobs. They felt in keeping of their characters, and their characters all had a personality, which I enjoyed. They can be a little bit too quirky at times. It does ride a fine line where they could very easily be annoying. I could see that for some people, but they never crossed that line for me. I always enjoyed them, and I enjoyed their dynamics with each other as well. I thought the comedy was pretty good. It was a rough start. There's some jokes at the beginning, a lot of it sort of revolving around popular memes and things like that, and I was finding it a little bit too kid-friendly, but I can understand why, of course. But actually, as the film went on, I thought the humour really picked up. The two robots as well, they were hilarious. I thought they were great additions to the movie. Very dry, very witty, very stupid. Straight up my street, exactly what I want from a comedy. And talking about the animation itself, I thought it was absolutely stunning. It's from the same team that delivered Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's a hard animation style to explain. It's very unique to itself. Sometimes the shading and the texture of clothing, it feels very real, but you know it isn't. It's quite jarring, but brilliant at the same time. And this film has the exact same style of effect. I don't think it's quite as captured as Spider-Man, but I don't think it's meant to be, because they have a lot of, emotive things bouncing off the characters in this one. Even stickers pop up on the screen. So I don't think their intention was to make it feel as realised. It's still beautiful to look at. It's very pretty. The colours are really quite inducing, actually. I thought it had a good message to its story as well. It's a little bit convoluted and a little bit out there, but ultimately, yeah, it's hitting home a good message, and it doesn't really shove it down your throat either. It's quite simple and straightforward, and that's all you really need to do sometimes. I'm not going to talk too much about what character she plays, but I thought Olivia Colman was really good actually in this. It must have been quite a tricky role, but I think she nails it. I'd like to see it return in some capacity in a sequel if possible, because I thought it was brilliant. There are some complaints here and there. I do think some of the family drama is a little bit forced at times. Feels very easily resolved if people just stopped and listened to each other. Do you know what I mean? It almost feels like they're purposely prolonging this issue to sort of give the movie some juice. And it just doesn't feel necessary, because the film actually is quite long. It feels longer than it actually is. I think it's bordering on 2 hours, which is quite long for a kid's film. But I'll be honest, it felt like 2 hours 20, because it's quite jumbled in its storytelling. We do this, it didn't work, we come back to square one, we go again. And sometimes things like that probably could have done with some fine-tuning here and there. But ultimately, I was really surprised by this movie. I didn't think I was going to enjoy this much. I thought this was going to be very stereotypical, run-of-the-mill, grumpy dad, doesn't understand his kids. And it is that to a tiny degree, but imagination just explodes onto the screen as it keeps going, and it gets wilder and crazier and funnier and just enjoyable, that you just go along with it, even though it does have that kind of little stereotypical, this again plotline to it. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. There's not much more I can really say about this. This was a really pleasant find. And if you're a family of any age, really, I think most people will find an enjoyment out of this. I really do recommend this movie. I'm going to give The Mitchells vs. the Machines a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching this review. If you could leave a like, comment and subscribe, let me know what you thought of the movie in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.